Hi everyone, today we are going to learn about direct proportion. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand, to identify the direct proportions, to explain direct proportions using examples, to write the relationship between two quantities which are directly proportional in the form y equal kx, and applications of direct proportion in the day-to-day life. In the previous classes, we have learned to compare two numbers and write them in the form of a ratio. And also, you know how to write a ratio in the simplest form. So, let's see how to do that. Right, look at here. Pause the video here and write the given ratios in the simplest form. You can divide both terms in the given ratio by a common factor. Likewise, 12 to 16, both are divisible by 4. Finally, we can get the answer as 3 to 4. Right? The second one, 4 to 20. We can divide both terms by 4. Then you can get the answer as 1 to 5. Third one, 21 to 14. We can simplify these two. The answer is 3 to 2. The fourth one, 24 to 48. These are multiples of 24. Then we can get the answer as 1 to 2. Also, the last one, 25 to 20. These are divisible by 5. Then you can get the answer as 5 to 4. I hope now you remember the previous knowledge. Okay, now I am going to enter our lesson. First of all, listen to this boy's story.
I am Ashan. I am about to go on a journey of 40 kilometers. Oh, but I don't have any fuel in my car. I know my car can travel 10 kilometers for 1 liter of fuel. So, how many liters of fuel do I need to complete this journey?
He faced a big problem because Ashan's car burns 1 liter of petrol to cover a distance of 10 kilometers. So he need to find how many liters of fuel does he need to complete this journey. Okay, let's see how to solve this problem. Okay, when we consider these two different quantities like number of burning liters of fuel and the distance, it's clear that these two are different quantities. To cover the distance of 10 kilometers by burning 1 liter of petrol, also 20 kilometers by using 2 liters, 30 kilometers by using 3 liters, and 40 kilometers by using 4 liters. When we consider this number of liters of petrol, they are increasing here. Firstly 1, then 2, 3, 4 likewise. The number of liters of petrol increasing in this type, and in the same way we can see the distance in kilometers also raised here. Here you can see Ashan's problem was solved. It's very simple. He know his car can travel 10 kilometers per 1 liter of petrol. So he wants to 4 liters of petrol to cover his journey of 40 kilometers.
Right, I found it. I need 40 liters of fuel to cover my journey. Okay, I am ready to go now.
Right, I think I made it clear to you, but I wanted to emphasize something else from this. Children, pay your attention here. Now we will consider these two numbers. We can write a ratio by using these two numbers as 1 to 2. In the same way, we will take distances covered by them. Right. Now 10 and 20 here. then we can write the ratio as 10 to 20. Remember this part I did at the start of the lesson. So that these two numbers are multiples of 10, then you can write the ratio as 1 to 2. See, the ratios became equal. We will take another two, like 3 and 4. Then the ratio is 3 to 4. Also, the corresponding ratio is 30 to 40. These are the multiples of 10. Again we can write it as 3 to 4. Take a good look at this. Something special here? Or is there any specific relationship here? If you look into it, you will see that these ratios are similar to each other. So, this type of relationships are called direct proportion. That is our main topic. Right. What did we learn now? So, what is the direct proportion? Two distinct quantities are said to be in the direct proportion if they increase or decrease in the same ratio. I will explain you by using another example. Okay, in this example, we will take the side length of a square in centimeters and the area in square centimeters as two quantities. Okay, you know how to find the area of a square. Just imagine the side length of the first square is 1 centimeter. Then the area of this square is 1 into 1 square centimeter. If the length of a side is 2 centimeters, then the area is 2 into 2, 4 square centimeters. Also, if we'll take the side length is 3 centimeters, then the area is 3 into 3 equal to 9 square centimeters. We will compare the ratio between the length and the area. See, we will take the first two, 1 to 2. From the other side, what will come? 1 to 4. Are these two equal like earlier? They are not equal. We will take other one. 2 to 3. From other side, 4 to 9. Can't simplify. Then we can see these two ratios are not equal. Of course, they are increasing. When one side is increasing, the other side also increasing. The two quantities are increasing, but here the problem is the ratio is not equal. Before I have mentioned you increase or decrease in the same ratio. So remember that not enough that quantities are increasing or decreasing. It should happen in the same ratio. Now children, we will see some examples for direct proportion. Right, look at here. Are the two quantities in each of the following situations directly proportional or not? See, I have given you a number of meters of cloth and its value. These are two different quantities and different units. When consider the number of meters of cloth, if they are increasing, of course, price is also increasing. When number of meters of cloth decrease, the prices also decreases according to a ratio. So it is directly proportional. Next, the number of days a daily paid employee works and the salary that should be paid. Here the two quantities are the number of days and salary. These are two different quantities. If the number of days are increasing, the salary also increasing. If the number of days are decreasing, the salary also decreasing according to a ratio. So this is a direct proportion. The third one, the speed of a motor vehicle and the time taken to cover a distance. In this case, the two quantities are the speed and the time. When consider this, if the speed of vehicle is increasing, then the time taken to cover the journey is decreasing. Also, if the speed of vehicle is decreasing, then the time taken to cover the journey is increasing. So, you can clearly identify this is not a direct proportion. The fourth one, the length of a side of a square and its perimeter. You know, if the length of a side of a square is increasing, then the perimeter of the square is 4 times the length. So the perimeter is also increasing. So it is a direct proportion. The sixth one, the number of boxes of colored pencil of the same brand and the number of pencils in the boxes. You know, there are same number of pencils in one box, so that if the number of boxes are increasing, also the number of pencils in the boxes are increasing according to a ratio. So this is a direct proportion. The last one, the number of persons engaged in a certain job of work and the time taken to complete it. In this case, the two quantities are the number of persons and the other one is time. Here you know, when the number of persons engaged in a certain job of work are increasing, then the time taken to complete it is decreasing. Also, if the number of persons engaged in a certain job of work are decreasing, then the time taken to complete it is increasing. So you can clearly identify this is not a direct proportion. Now you have to do the exercise 10.1 in your textbook. Children, now we are going to solve the problems related to direct proportions. There are 3 methods to solve the problems related to direct proportion. The first method, unitary method. In this method, if the value of a few minutes is known, the value of 1 unit and then the value of any number of units can be calculated using the unitary method. For an example, I have given you, if the price of 10 kilograms of rice is 900 rupees, so find the price of 8 kilograms of rice. Before solve this, you must select the two quantities and also you should be able to choose the sentence that have a clear connection. Start from the data given to you. So here I given to you the price of 10 kilograms of rice is 900 rupees. You can write the sentences here, but I am not. Next we will find, before finding the price of 8 kilograms of rice, we can find for 1 kilogram. That is called the unitary method. Therefore, to find the price of 1 kilogram of rice, we should divide 900 rupees by 10. Then the price of 1 kilogram of rice is 90 rupees. So, then we can find the price of 8 kilograms of rice. Therefore, you should multiply the price of 1 kilogram by 8. Then you can get the answer as 720 rupees. Therefore, the price of 8 kilograms of rice is 720 rupees. Write the second example. A train covers 96 kilometers in 1 hour. So find the time the train takes to travel 288 kilometers. In the second example, let's find the two quantities. They are the distance and the time. In this problem, the best connection is a train covers 96 kilometers in 1 hour. The time taken to cover 96 kilometers is an hour. We can easily simplify it by converting it into minutes. There are 60 minutes included in 1 hour. Next, we should find the time for 1 kilometer. So, divide 60 minutes by 96. Then we can get the answer as 0.625 minutes. After that, you can find the time taken to cover 288 kilometers when multiplying the time for 1 kilometer by 288. Then the answer is 180 minutes. But we can take the answer in hours. So you should divide the answer in minutes by 60. Finally, we got the answer as 3 hours. Right, next one. The weight of a steel rod of length 6 meters is 1.8 kilograms. So find the weight of a steel rod of the same brand of length 5 meters. Here, the two quantities are the length and the weight, and the best relationship is the weight of a steel rod of length 6 meters is 1.8 kilograms or 1800 grams. Next, to find the weight of a steel rod of length 1 meter, you should divide 1800 grams by 6. Then we can get the answer as 300 grams. Now we want to find the weight of the steel rod of length 5 meters. Therefore, you should multiply weight of 1 meter by 5. Then you can get the answer as 1500 grams. The fourth example, the weight of 16 cubic centimeters of a metal is 24 grams. Find the weight of 20 cubic centimeters of the same metal. In this case, the two quantities are the volume and the weight. The weight of 16 cubic centimeters of a metal is 24 grams. Likewise, when multiplying by 1000, we can write it as 24,000 grams. Then the weight of 1 cubic centimeter of a metal is 1500 grams when dividing by 16. After that, you can find the weight of 20 cubic centimeters when multiplying the weight of 1 cubic centimeter by 20. It is 30,000 grams. At last, we can write it as 30 kilograms. Therefore, the weight of 20 cubic centimeters of a metal is 30 kilograms. The fifth one, if a motor vehicle traveling at uniform speed covers a distance of 1.5 kilometers in 5 minutes, so find the distance it covers in 12 minutes. Here, the two quantities are the time and the distance. The motor vehicle covers a distance of 1.5 kilometers in 5 minutes, so that the vehicle covers the distance of 300 meters in 1 minute. To find it, you should divide the distance in 5 minutes by 5. Also, to find the answer, you should multiply the distance in 1 minute by 12. When dividing by 1000, we can get it as 3.6 kilometers. Now you have to do the exercise 10.2 in your textbook. Now children, we will go to our second method related to direct proportions. Right, our second method is using proportions. See the example here. When a weight of 5 kilograms is placed on a coil, it contracts by 25 millimeters. By how many millimeters will the coil contract if a weight of 12.5 kilograms is placed on it? What are the two different quantities here? The weight in kilograms and the other one is contraction in millimeters. We know the weight of 5 kilograms is placed on a coil, it contracts by 25 millimeters. And we need to find the contraction of 12.5 kilograms. The problem is we don't know it. For the unknown one, we can put a letter, algebraic letter like x. What we need to find? Now children, Can you remember in the beginning of the lesson I explained that these two can be written as ratios. See, 5 to 12.5. The weight and the contraction are separately written as a ratio, and we know that it is a direct proportion. So, in other side we can write the ratio as 25 to x. In a direct proportion, both ratios are equal. The ratio of weight and the ratio of contraction should be equal. Any ratio can be written as a fraction. Right. How do we write it as a fraction? We can write it as the first number as the numerator and the second number as the denominator. Here, 5 to 12.5. 25 as the numerator and x as the denominator. 5 to 12.5 equal to 25 to x. Now children, we can apply the cross multiplication here. Look at here. I have sent x to 5 and the 12.5 also to the other side. See what happened. 12.5 and x, they are changed their places from equation mark. They go up. So here 5 multiplied by x equals 25 multiplied by 12.5. 25 multiplied by 12.5. Now if you want to simplify this, but I am not doing so, right? Next we can see that 5 is multiplied by x, 5x. 5x equal to 25 multiplied by 12.5. So we will divide either side by 5. 5 to 5 cancelling out. In the other side, 25 multiplied by 12.5 divided by 5. You know, you can divide 25 by 5. Then the remaining is 5. After that, you can multiply 5 by 12.5. So, x equals to 62.5. So that the contraction of coil, if the weight of 12.5 kilograms is 62.5 millimeters. This is the answer. Right? See the example I given you. If the price of 3 skirts is 1500 rupees, so find the price of 7 skirts. Firstly, we must identify two different quantities, right? The two quantities are number of skirts and price in rupees. Then you can write the ratio as 3 to 7 is equal to 1500 to x. The unknown term is x. Right? Here you can see there are two equivalent fractions. 3 over 7 is equal to 1500 over x. Then we can use cross multiplication here. 3x is equal to 1500 multiplied by 7. Then we can divide both sides by 3. Then the final answer is x is equals to 3500. So the price of 7 skirts is 3500 rupees. Okay, the third example. An article is bought for 400 rupees and is sold keeping a profit of 12%. What is its selling price? Here, what are the two different quantities? I have given to you a percentage also here. But clearly we should identify what are the two different quantities. Buying price and selling price. An article is bought at one price and selling it at another price. And what is this 12%? When we consider the buying price is 400 rupees. So we need to find the selling price by keeping the profit of 12%. We don't know the selling price. So I put x. So what is 12% is given to us? Just imagine we bought an article at 100 rupees by keeping a profit of 12%. What must be the selling price of that article? According to percentage, 12 rupees must be the profit. So what must be the selling price? 100 plus that 12, then 112 rupees. So according, we will calculate the selling price of the article. Now you can solve the problem here. First of all, you should write two equivalent fractions. 100 to 400 equals to 112 to x. After that, you can write it as a fraction. 100 over 400 equals to 112 over x. Using cross multiplication, 100x is equals to 400 into 112. Divide both sides by 100, then you can got the answer as x equals to 448. Therefore, the selling price is 448 rupees. The fourth example. If the wages for 8 masons for one day is 4,800 rupees. So, what will be the wages for 5 masons for one day? Right. Here, the two different quantities are the number of masons and the wage in rupees. Then we can write two equivalent ratios. 8 to 5 equals to 4,800 to x. As fractions, 8 over 5 equals to 4,800 over x. Using cross multiplication, we can write it as 8x is equals to 4,800 into 5. Divide both sides by 8. Then the answer is x equals to 3,000. Therefore, the wages for 5 masons for one day is 3,000 rupees. The fifth example. If the price of 9 pencils is 72 rupees, so find the number of pencils that can be bought for 48 rupees. Right, the two different quantities are number of pencils and price in rupees. So we can write two equivalent fractions. 9 to x equals to 72 to 48. As fractions, 9 over x equals to 72 over 48. Using cross multiplication here, 9 into 48 equals to 72 into x, 72x. Divide both sides by 72, then x equals to 6. Therefore, the number of pencils that can be bought for 48 rupees is 6. The last example of this method. If a distance of 40 meters is represented by 9 centimeters on a map drawn to a scale, find the actual distance represented by 8 centimeters on this map. Here you can see the two different quantities are actual distance in meters and distance in map in centimeters. So we can write two equivalent ratios. 45 to x equals to 9 to 8. As fractions, 45 over x equals to 9 over 8. Using cross multiplication, we can write it as 45 into 8 is equal to 9x. Divide both sides by 9, then x equals to 40. Therefore, the actual distance represented by 8 centimeters on this map is 40 meters.
Now you have to do the exercise 10.3 in your textbook.
Okay children, we will go to our third method, algebraic method. Can you remember the earlier two methods? Unitary method and using proportions, and now algebraic method. In the first section of this lesson, it was explained that if two quantities are directly proportional, then the ratio of any two values of the first quantity is equal to the ratio of the corresponding values of the second quantity. This can be shown algebraically. Right? This is the concept of this method. We can see a diagram here. Suppose that this is a direct proportion. Then we can write two equivalent fractions A to B equals to P to Q. When we divide two different quantities, we can take data X and Y. It is every time a constant value. Same value is coming. We will take the constant value as K. Then we can write it as Y equals to Kx. For an example, see this question. If the price of a bag of 25 apples is 300 rupees, so what is the price of 10 apples of the same kind? The two different quantities are the number of apples and its price. We will take the price as Y and the number of apples as X. So we can write two equations here. The first one is K equals to Y over 10 and the second one K equals to 300 over 25. The same constant value is coming. We can see that either side should be equal. I was writing this like this. Y over 10 must be equal to this constant value. Y over 10 equals to 300 over 25. Both the values equal to the same constant value. We want to find Y alone. So we multiply either sides by 10. Then down 10 to up 10 cancelling out. Only Y will remaining. We can solve the other side. Then Y equals to 120. Therefore, the price of 10 apples is 120 rupees. The second example, a motor vehicle travels a distance of 48 kilometers with 4 liters of petrol. So, find the distance it will travel with 10 liters of petrol. Here, the two different quantities are the volume of petrol and the distance. So, what is the unknown quantity? We can write two equations with K. The first one, K equals to Y over 10 and the other one, K equals to 48 over 4. Both the values equal to the same constant. So, Y over 10 equals to 48 over 4. 10 to 10 cancelling out. So, Y is alone. The other side 48 over 4 multiplied by 10. By simplifying, Y equals to 120. Therefore, the distance it will travel with 10 liters of petrol is 120 kilometers. Right. The third example, the weight of 16 cubic centimeters of a metal is 24 grams. So, find the weight of 20 cubic centimeters of the same metal. Right. The two different quantities are the weight and the volume. Then we can write two equations with K. K equals to Y over 20 and K equals to 24 over 16. The unknown term is the weight of 20 cubic centimeters of this metal. So we will take it as Y. Both the values equal to the same constant. So we can write it as Y over 20 equals to 24 over 16. 20 to 20 cancelling out. Then Y equals to 30. Therefore, the weight of 20 cubic centimeter of this metal is 30 grams. Okay, the last example, the price of 3 meters of shirting is 675 rupees. So, find the price of 5 meters of shirting the same kind. So, what are the two different quantities? And what is the unknown term? The two different quantities are the length and the price. We can write the first equation, k equals to y over 5. Here y is the unknown term. And the second equation, k equals to 675 over 3. We can write it as y over 5 equals to 675 over 3. 5 to 5 cancelling out, then y is alone. The other side, 675 multiplied by 5 and divide by 3. Then y equals to 1125. So the price of 5 meters of shirting is 1125 rupees.
Now you have to do the exercise 10.4 in your textbook.
See you again with another lesson. Thank you.